nobody play with my character like this, ma'am. I have never defended a pet. And I'm no, let's hold up. No, wait a minute. I'm gonna finish my statement. I'm gonna finish my statement because we're gonna get this clear on the record. I have never defended a pet nowhere I ever. What I'm talking about these white men and these young girls they were sleeping with is not gonna change their life at all. Wait a minute, because you said enough. Your finger at this party and say shame, shame, shame. They don't care if it's pedophilia, whatever, they murder, whatever. They don't care. So if Democrats are using this as a way to say all of a sudden, federal penitentiary, that's the only place you can go where actually pedophilia can get you killed. Inmates have a better right, but guess what? Republicans are not that.
Talk about the cost of living.
Sweetheart, I live in the South. So what you're talking about, and let me be clear.
I'm just saying,
no, but I'm saying you still have to win something called, right, you won blue states. And what I'm saying, you still have to win something called the swing. This Republican Party does not care. Donald Trump does not care.
That is an indictment. There's nothing to hide.
Wait, you just switched the conversation. Wait, nothing to hide isn't what I said. Yeah.
Why? If there's nothing illegal.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Guys, we got Big Boy Burgers today, Humpty Dumpty, along with Hubba Bubba Bubblegum. It'll make sense somewhat, I promise. Guys, this panel got extremely heated. This went off the rails. Let's get into this segment and we'll talk about it.
Trump were to be in the Epstein files. And that's a very big if.
I'm sorry, did they not look at the emails today? When Trump comes out, he says, I'm going to sue Rupert Murdoch for insinuating that it's... When was the last time you heard about that lawsuit? It's gone. It's gone because he's in it.
Yes. Do you think he would lose any support?
No, it's Wile E. Coyote versus the Roadrunner. And every time we keep thinking 34 felonies, that'll get him. Oh my God, that thing he said on Access Hollywood. And every time Trump just comes in and goes, meep, meep, and flies away. And I think it's the same thing.
Dan, does he remain a Roadrunner?
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, look, I think that this is a perfect example of it, right? The question you asked before the break, is this a cover-up, right? Of course it's a cover-up. How do we know? We know because Pam Bondi said she was going to release all of the documents. The FBI said they were going to release. Kash Patel was calling for the release, and now they're not releasing the documents. Now, does that mean that that's because Donald Trump engaged in criminal activity? No. In fact, you talk to the people who've actually talked to all the victims in this case, and they will tell you that they don't have any evidence of Donald Trump engaging in any criminal activity. So the truth is, if they release the documents, it is probably the case that there wouldn't be any evidence of Donald Trump engaging in criminal activity. But there would also be probably evidence of things that are embarrassing for Donald Trump, things he doesn't want out there. And I think there's an important distinction there to talk about in connection with that. But there is no question that anyone else would not be able to survive this. Right. Donald Trump, I think by 2026, this issue will be forgotten.
Can I just ask, you just argued a second ago, you said it was a cover-up.
Yes.
You said at the beginning of what you just said, you said it's a cover-up.
Correct.
And then you said there's nothing criminal in there.
Correct.
That according, now I don't know how none of us know if it's criminal. You're alleging.
I'm just suggesting based on what we know,
But like, since embarrassment is usually not a big thing for him, why would he go to the lengths of covering up Pam Bondi not testifying, Pam Bondi being asked, saying she's going to release, then not release. These files come out. They are stonewalling reporters. If there's nothing to hide,
well, wait, you just switched the conversation. Wait, nothing to hide isn't what I said.
If it's not illegal, why? If there's nothing illegal,
yes.
Given the, lots of things have embarrassed Donald Trump, and he doesn't get embarrassed.
Well, no, but it's not that he doesn't get embarrassed. He gets very upset about stuff that's supposedly embarrassing.
If it's not illegal, why are they going to this level of lengths where they go to Lauren Boebert? Can I just finish? Why they're going to Lauren Boebert, who signed the discharge petition, pull her into the Situation Room to browbeat her to change her vote. She leaks it to the press that they did it. Why go to those extraordinary lengths?
Because he doesn't want to be embarrassed.
Right, but that's not.
Is that ridiculous? I mean, it doesn't seem ridiculous.
It seems obvious to me
that
we should consider a real possibility. He is engaged in illegal activity.
Or the easier thing is that he did not realize that every single document that was there would have his name attached to things that can be taken out of context. And the reason why he originally said we want to put it out there was because he knew he didn't do anything illegal.
This is arguing he does.
Shut up. Guys, Hubba Bubba Bubblegum over here. This dude is a gay Jewish man in the Republican Party. You're a joke. I don't want to hear from people with this level of irony and stupidity. You may have more to worry about than even Trump does with your party. Dan Abrams, he will always try to both sides of everything. I don't take what he says too seriously, but like Trump tried hiding his payments to Stormy Daniels, that porn star. So for sure, he would try and hide this, whatever he's involved with Epstein. But it's the level, right? The level of odd behavior. The one that stands out to me more than anything is the pardoning. He will not rule out if he will pardon Maxwell. And this is what he's done every time he's pardoned someone in the past. He won't rule it out. If it's only embarrassing, think about it in this logic. If it's only embarrassing, is he really willing to go that far to possibly let Maxwell out of prison after what she and Epstein has done to those poor little girls? Think about it. If it's just embarrassing, let's just say that's true. If that's the case, he's willing to pardon someone like that. He may be sicker than Epstein and Maxwell themselves. Like, think about the psychological steps your brain would have to take. You're willing to let someone out of prison like that, Maxwell, so that you won't be embarrassed? Really? Either he's criminally involved, guys, somehow, or he's really a sick-minded fuck beyond what we already seen. There's no ways around it.
Doesn't get embarrassed and nothing.
But when it comes to if Donald Trump is worried about that. But if Donald Trump is, it feels like everyone seems to agree that Donald Trump is not going to pay a political price.
I disagree.
I
actually think very strongly.
Which is why for the last 4 years he's been charged and all the documents have been leaked.
Of course, Tezlyn, why do you think?
Listen, as an independent at this table, I am here to talk about the reality of what it is. I get it. It's not whether it's legal, not legal. I don't know if you're confused on what's going on with the Republican Party. They don't give a damn what consequence has to be paid in order to push their agenda. And Democrats, I'm warning you that if you think you're going to continue to just wag your finger at this party and say shame, 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 they don't care if it's pedophilia, whatever, they murder, whatever. They don't care. So if Democrats are using this as a way to say all of a sudden there's going to be some moral high ground that all of a sudden that these voters are going to switch. No, let me finish. That they're going to switch their opinion. It's simply not that. What's going on with the midterms? Who are you running in the midterms? What's happening on the state level, the federal level? My uncle died 24 hours ago. 24 hours ago because his sugar went down and his diabetic medication. Who's talking about that? If you think that Epstein files is going to all of a sudden bring people to the polls, Donald Trump and the Republican Party, they're better at messaging the Democrats, even when they're wrong. They're going to switch this, they're going to switch it back, and Democrats are going to still... Listen, I think in the federal penitentiary, that's the only place you can go where actually pedophilia actually can get you killed. Inmates have a better... right, but guess what? Republicans are not that. At some point, you're going to have to deal with the reality of what it is. Pedophilia is the worst thing you can possibly ever be. But this Republican Party does not care. Donald Trump does not care. There's no embarrassment.
Can I just say...
Jason, go ahead. Trying to stop the pedophilia going on.
That's not true.
That was a quote from the damn email that we got released. Here's a direct quote.
Pause.
A direct quote.
What's the dirty
Here's the problem that we're thinking of as a Republican. I want all of this information out, but I also don't like the idea that there are bad faith actors on your side who are using the suffering of those victims purely for political points. You are one of the few people. I give you credit on this because you have been tweeting about Epstein for a while. The problem is you started just a few months ago.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
So
you didn't.
Let me shift this in one direction.
I do. I looked it up.
If there needs to be, and I'm not saying that there needs to be, but
I hate that they just say voters. Which effing voters? Republicans or Democrats or independent? They're motivated by different things, right? Republicans won't care about this, but like the Epstein stuff, but independents will, right? Like, I'll have more to say about this. You can't just say voters like that.
if there ends up needing to be or ends up being a fall guy or a scapegoat in this, in terms of how mismanaged this has been from the White House perspective. Does it have to be? Is it out of necessity going to be Pam Bondi?
I don't know if it has to be Pam Bondi. I think she does look obviously, maybe compromised or questionable when she said, "I have the documents on my desk," and then said they don't exist.
She mishandled it.
That's a mishandling, bar none. I think the political consequences, though, as you pointed out, are not for Trump in the 4-year from now presidential race. It's the midterms in this current 12-month cycle, right? That's where I think you'll see the fallout from this vote in the House and potentially the Senate play out. That's why I do actually think that if there's 50 Republicans voting for it, 150 will end up voting for it. And I think
because they can use that cover.
It's the cover, and then eventually it gives a veto-proof majority.
No matter if it gets to the president's desk or not.
But that's a different question. In that this does not matter to the voters. It doesn't.
Wrong. You're making an analysis.
Well, I guess if you present it as, do you care about Jeffrey Epstein, or do you care about being able to pay your bills? You know what people are going to choose.
Yeah, and there's not a single person that's taken the other side during the last election.
Are you open to the possibility that voters can hold two thoughts in their heads at once, and they are nuanced?
Actually, Democrats can't. And I want to be clear: the file should be released. The file should be released. Yes. What I'm saying is, Democrats are failing in their messaging. Every day in my comments, somebody says, "Release the files, release the files," when they should be hashtagging "Build the bench, build the bench, build the bench." There should be a non-stop training. Let me just finish. You guys don't have a bench. You don't have anybody in the midterms. Your only hope is just a couple of candidates and talking about what's going on in New York. When are Democrats going? Because if you're getting everybody motivated, no, I'm serious. If you're getting everybody motivated on Epstein file, Epstein file, Epstein file, and there's no plan B. There's no plan B like we just saw with this government shutdown. There's no plan B. What's going to happen?
I just like to respond, which is just
I think she hit the nail on the head.
Of course, I'd say.
Fucking big boy burgers. You hear him? So they're both right. Tezlyn is more right. Affordability has to be the issue. But Trump is a lame duck president. Republicans will distance themselves from him, for sure. 100%. Tezlyn is right. This issue just won't hurt Trump. Again, guys, Trump's approval rating with Republicans after the first emails came out earlier in the year went up. Guys, they called him the best president of their lifetime. Not when the first emails came out, when the whole Pam Bondi, we have the files, all that. Trump's approval rating went up. You will hear people say on the other side, Republicans say, "Oh, I want the files, blah, 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 I care." But the truth is they would still vote for him. They will still vote for the Republicans on the ballot, 100%. Tezlyn is right on that. Of course they will. Guys, this party is debating if they should let Nazis in right now, like Nick Fuentes and his types of weirdos. They don't give a damn about young girls being abused. Again, they only ever cared about this whole Epstein files thing because they thought it was a grand conspiracy against Democrats. Like, like Republicans, the overwhelming majority, guys, of those voters are out of their effing mind, one way or another. No one in the media just ever comes out and says it. Tezlyn is basically saying it here. This party is full of degenerates, right? They're not motivated by things like this, like, right? This helps Trump in a lot of ways, right? Like, they excuse every single thing. It definitely hurts Trump with independents, without a doubt. Not Republicans. These people dig their heels in. Hell no. But, like, right, the Republicans will still defend this somehow. You'll know they'll say something like, "Oh, Trump, Republicans. This is what Republicans are gonna do." Well, you know what? The Trump and the Republicans, they try to block the whole Epstein stuff, but the Democrats are just worse. The Democrats are just far worse. They're terrorists. They're Antifa. They're communists. And whatever fear-mongering lies their little brains can come up with. Let me know in the comments, but this is how they'll distance themselves. Even if they try to help Trump. They'll just say, well, the Democrats are worse. They're worse. Right? And that works for their voters.
And I'm not vouching for Republican, by the way. I just want to be clear.
1,000%. Democrats should talk about multiple things. As
they
have
talked.
I just disagree. We just won the New Jersey. Can I just finish?
All you guys have talked about was Epstein.
Why did Mikey Sherrill win by 15 points? Why did Abigail Spanberger win by 15 points? Because those people talked about the cost of living.
Sweetheart, I live in the South. So what you're talking about, and let me be clear. No, but I'm saying you still have to win something. Right, you won blue states, and what I'm saying, you still have have to win something called the swing states in the
Virginia is
South.
not a swing
You
state.
still
She
have
won by
it was
10
purple.
points.
So-
I'm not
Oh my
impressed
God.
until.
Okay, well, I'm sorry
So
you're not
you
impressed.
guys
I really
need-
am.
listen,
But Democrats
listen.
can talk about cost of
But you
living,
don't,
which
though.
this president is failing at.
they
Which
do.
Dan, I want you to have
Dan,
Dan has the last word
but
here.
here's the
With
other.
all due respect, that's totally
Okay,
wrong.
but here's the
Dan,
other
go
problem.
We talked about
Got
healthcare.
it.
It's
Okay,
not enough.
here's the other
Yeah.
problem.
It's
The
not
other
enough.
the other
It's not
problem.
enough. To
I'm
my
sorry, you're
community,
right.
it's not enough.
Okay,
And let's
well,
be
they
clear.
just had very high turnout
Let's
in
be clear.
Virginia and New
The
Jersey.
community I represent, which is the poor and the hood. Let me
had
be
very
clear
high
about it. Let me be
turnout
clear
in
about
both
it.
states.
Let me be clear about it. They need to be motivated based on what's actually going to change their life. And I want to be
And
clear. The
hopefully-
Epstein file
Okay.
should be released.
Okay.
I am not defending a pedophile by no stretch of the imagination.
The other
way
issue
you
is
are.
the
Hang on.
Democrats.
No, wait, no,
guys,
hang
guys,
on.
for 1 second, can you guys stop yelling over each other for 1 second? Yeah.
Guys, that was dirty. I think Neera said, and you can rewind if you want, and I'm not sure, but about defending the Epstein types. She said, "Are you sure about that, or aren't you? Are you sure you aren't?" If that's what she said to Tezlyn, that's messed up. You know Tezlyn is not defending the Epstein types of people. That's disgusting. Wow. I didn't catch that right. I watched these before I make this, but I didn't catch that the first time. I think now I understand. Wow.
I never said you can't talk about it.
Just
Let's not
wait a
play that
second.
game.
All
No,
right.
I
I
didn't.
agree.
You're not
No,
talking about
I'm
it.
saying that you can't put all your chips on that alone.
No one
is what I'm
is.
saying.
Nobody
By the
is.
way,
It's a straw
no
man.
one can hear what you're saying. Dan,
Sorry.
go.
We still have time? All right. So all I was going to say was that on the issue of Epstein, the other problem for Democrats is that there is a hypocrisy on this, right? Is the fact that it is true that suddenly this is an issue that's interesting to Democrats. Now, I understand why. Donald Trump is the president. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That makes it more interesting. But it's also true that in the years leading up to this, during the entire Biden administration, there wasn't this
Yes,
call.
because he was too scared to do anything.
Who was too scared?
Garland was basically intimidated
Why
By
by
who?
This wasn't the
Republican
focus.
attacks.
a pedophile.
Wait, by
Wait,
who?
you-
He should have investigated.
The Attorney
He
General was
absolutely should have
scared. Who was the Attorney
investigated.
General scared of?
The Attorney General was
His
scared
his
of
feeble
Republican
boss?
Dan
attacks.
is now
Federal
going to
boss?
finish his thought.
That's it. That's it.
I'm giving you the answer. I'm sorry you don't like it.
This is
He
not
was
a real
definitely
answer.
intimidated by Republicans saying
By who,
he's
Sleepy Joe?
partisan.
So, but
He
who?
was
But
yelled by
but
Republicans.
which Democrats? Wait. But which Democrats were
They
calling?
should
Wait.
have.
Which
Absolutely
Democrats
right.
were calling on Garland to release it?
He should have
No, that's not what I
released
asked
it.
you. Which Democrats were calling
I'm
on
saying
Garland?
they should have.
But you just said he was intimidated.
I know of a narrow few. I know Ron Wyden has been asking for financial
Yes.
records
Yeah.
for a very, very long
Decades.
time. I know there are some, but it's not like there is
Two.
a drumbeat campaign.
There are two.
I'm just stating
Yeah,
that.
no, that's a fair answer.
Can
There
I
were
say
two.
this? Because this is important, because I don't let nobody play with my character like this.
Oh, guys, I think I'm right. No need to rewind. Uh-oh.
Ma'am, I have never defended a pedophile. And I'm
I
no,
hear
no,
you.
let's
You
hold
have
up.
not, but
No,
when you're
wait a minute,
saying
wait a minute, wait a
Democrats
minute.
are
I'm gonna
spraying
finish
them.
my statement.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish my statement because we're gonna get this clear on the record. I have never defended a pedophile nowhere I ever. What I'm telling you is in the community that I represent, who are focused on jobs, housing, transportation, talking about these white men and these young girls they were sleeping with is not going to change their life at all. Wait a minute, because you've said enough. Release the, yes.
Hang on, guys.
You release the files. Do it all.
Yes, we should
Send
do
people to
both.
jail. Do it all. What I'm here to tell you is there has to also be a focus on what is going to happen when healthcare goes up in January.
Absolutely.
What is going to happen with people who
Absolutely.
are jobs, housing, transportation. And the
I agree
messaging
with
has
you.
all been Epstein, 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 and not enough on who are you running in the midterms that are actually going to change the lives of every.
Here's what we're going to do.
Democrats
We're going to hit pause on
literally
this
shut
again
the
because I can
government
promise
down
you
over healthcare.
the government is open, but may also shut down again at the end of January.
Right.
That's right.
They're
Over
now going to
healthcare.
negotiate the entire month of December
Over
healthcare.
healthcare.
So we know it is coming.
Yes.
We're going to go to this now. We have
Oof, guys, yeah. No need to rewind. I think I'm right. Oh, they're both arguing. And I'll say something about that in a second. They're both arguing, but I think it's mostly they agree on different tactics. Tezlyn wants more focus on affordability, which I agree with more with her. And she's saying don't get sidetracked with all these other issues that just don't win over as many voters, that, right, as affordability. But I also get the other part. It's like, what do you do? These emails come out revealing more and more information, right? Like, they're going to cover it. The media is going to cover it. The Democrats are going to use that and use it as a weapon, right? And I do believe independents, those in the middle, when they see this crap, this Epstein stuff and Trump and Republicans going to vacation, doing all they can, not to swear in the House Democrat from Arizona, I think. Like, when you mount that on top of everything else, this economy is going to shit, guys. A recession is lurking in the shadows. Everyone knows it. Immigration, he's underwater because of just a plain cruelty that Republicans displayed. And yes, the focus has to be affordability. But when you mount all these things together, it starts to paint a disgusting, dark picture with the Republican Party. Now they got this whole Nazism stuff going on over there with Nick Fuentes. It's just when you combine it all. But the number one issue, 100%, Tezlyn is right, has to be affordability. But guys, what Neera said there, I don't know much about that lady, but that was messed up. That made me see her differently. I've only seen her a couple times here. Like, there's no effing way. I hate when people do that. There's no effing way you thought Tezlyn was defending these kinds of people, these abusers. That's so disgusting to do on live TV. Like, are you kidding me? I'm pretty sure that's what set it all off. You could see Tezlyn. She was boiling for a whole minute there while everyone else was talking. That was disgusting. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.